December 10th, the rundown. A lot of things here today because we got our old friend Mo. Now, he's already been on KFC Radio, right? He did the once. So this is my first time really talking to him since he left. And Hank is producing the rundown today. He took control of it, I will say that, because I emailed Dylan to be the producer, and you showed up. So we'll see how it goes. And I haven't come at your neck, Hank. I watched your rundown yesterday. I want to clear up one thing super quick. I only come at your neck when you deserve it. I don't just come after you like you're being a good guy and doing your job, and I come at you for no reason. When you screw up, I will come at you.
Is that the only thing you want to clear up from that rundown?
Yeah.
Okay, so best friend confirmed.
I mean, he said he wasn't. He's not. Okay.
You're his best friend. He's not. You know what I mean? It doesn't go both ways. It's a one-way street.
If you're like, hey, who's your best friend? He's not like Dave. But if you're like, Dave, who's your best friend? You're like, Hank. That's why it's kind of awkward. It's like you give Hank a Valentine's Day card, but Hank gives it to someone else, and everyone's like, and then you're sitting there crying in your bologna sandwich. It's sad. Whatever. Well, that's neither here nor there.
I haven't even said a fucking word to this guy till he came up and couldn't get this thing. I walked right past him like he was a ghost. Let's start with this Indiana town fight, which we had. It's over a town marshal, which I don't really know even what. Do we know what a town marshal is? That sounds like something that people don't have anymore, but Indiana does. I watched it. I loved how it was Indiana. I didn't read it. I watched it first, and it literally is like the scene from Hoosiers where they're trying to get rid of the coach, and they're like, coach stays, people like eye gouging each other. The most Indiana town ever. Mo, what do you're our guest of honor tonight, so we'll start with you.
Yeah, thanks. This was a great fight. I know my first thought, like when I first turned the video on and saw the punches being thrown, and then they showed the view of the crowd, it was obvious that to me that in this country, at least in certain places, Black lives will never matter. Like that group will never be accepting of certain things ever, ever, ever. The weirdest thing, I mean, like, I jumped immediately on community board Elvis's side, like the old Elvis looking dude, because guy in the red went for the eye gouge like immediately, and that's fucked up. And it was a bald guy. He pulled his hair, which is like against the rules for. I mean, you know, I'm sure Dave could talk to that more, but like the the idea of like gouging someone's eyes,
bald joke. You just threw a bald joke.
Fucked up. And what?
Hank, why are we cutting in and out so much?
It's bad, Hank. This is the worst connection we've had in a long time.
Did Hank fuck me up?
Probably. I mean, we heard it all.
The one last point, though. At the end, I don't know how much post-work Hank can do to showing it, but there's an old man with the biggest fucking earlobe I've ever seen in my life. Like, the guy's earlobe had, his ear had a ball sack. It was ridiculous.
KFC? I could see this being like you in maybe 20 years getting in a fight like this crusty old white guy, just town marshal fight.
Dude, it's literally the complete polar opposite of me. I can't imagine. I have no idea what being an Indiana town marshal entails, but I guarantee it's not worth getting in a fist fight over. The amount of responsibility an Indiana town marshal has is like what? You control like a parade or something one day of the year. The fact that there are people throwing fists over this is crazy. The fact that you think I would be involved in any sort of like political, like local, I'm the laziest person alive. I don't want to get involved in anything.
That was wrong. I can admit, I was wrong. Big Cat, you.
Shout out to the hero Bears fan who broke the whole thing up. He saved that town. I think we can all agree that. The town is 800 people, by the way. Mark Mangino, though, going straight for the eye gouge while his like henchman just is pounding on his skull. That was insane. And I actually think they probably like planned that. They were like, yo, if things get hot, like I'm going to go for his face and you just come in from the side. And it's just so Indiana. There's a million towns like this in Indiana. I actually made this blog, and then Ronnie Woo Woo got up in front of a press conference in Chicago with the Cubs jersey on. So I have to take back like all the mean things I said about like Indiana being all hick and stupid because Chicago, I guess we're just as hick and stupid.
I actually, and the last point, I wouldn't put it past these guys. Like after this fight was over, for the town marshal, like they all then are friends and go get like a coffee at a diner and then go to like their high school basketball game. This could have just been about the town marshal position. You almost segue, Mo. This is when I originally was like, we have to get you on because I am curious on your Black Lives Matter take. We've become really like white here since you left. Like. Yeah, well, when you were here, at least we
weren't
had...
really white. We got like a smidge black for a little bit, and now we're just back to white.
You were our like trump card. You were our gay uncle. Like, so you every time we said something, we're like, but we have Mo. So when we lost you, we lost like a big piece of our street cred in that respect.
Right, but we'd still kind of talk a lot about it because Black Lives Matter was so in the news, like every day, different story. It you know, and being the white guys, it helps to have the black guy be like, no, we included him in the discussion. So I am curious on your take because I actually think Black Lives Matter now has like, if I was a black guy, I'd be like, you guys got to stop with the Black Lives Matter. Like the girl who like did the protest halfway through and then went back. Like I'm hearing a lot of stories like that. Where are you on Black Lives Matter?
Wait, I'm just going to say this for Mo before you talk. I'm pretty sure this is like the exact reason Mo left Barstool. Just going to put that out there. No, you're not going to say it, but I'll say it for you. Go ahead.
But that's the perfect segue. And I'm actually going to shout out Sean Evans, who works at Complex. He's like one of the 2 or 3 people who read Barstool at Complex. And I told him I was coming on the show. And he's like, you know, they're going to fucking mousetrap you into a Black Lives Matter question. And I said, I know.
That's not even a mousetrap.
I accepted this knowing I was going into it. I don't want to talk a lot about it because it's not a funny subject for the most part. I mean, like the stories of people, you know, fucking up and trying to, you know, self-sabotage themselves, that's kind of funny. But I mean, I don't want to get into it because it's sort of a losing fight. To Dave's point that, you know, the people who are aligned with it are kind of like trying to back away because some people are crazy. Every group has that. I mean, like Pats fans have you guys, like it's, every group
that was a wild leap of faith you just made there, Mo. I feel like that joke was pre-written. Like I ask a Black Lives Matters question, you come back with Pats fans are crazy. That seemed a little bit quick.
It was. I'm defensive about this because I knew I was walking into this buzzsaw. But the one serious point I'll make about it, and maybe this is like the overall, I could have wrote like a blog about it if I worked there still, is that I agree with Black Lives Matter as a premise, definitely. Because the phrase Black Lives Matter or asking the question, do Black Lives Matter, shouldn't be met immediately with a yeah, but. It should just be met with like a yeah. Like, it feels like whenever you bring up, like, do Black Lives matter? Yeah, but all lives matter. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, we get it. Like, everyone knows all lives matter. Everyone gets that. But, like, the fact that saying do Black Lives Matter is, like, offensive or a question or questioned at all is really weird. And as, like, a black guy, seeing black people get killed a lot by white cops, like consistently for decades and decades by like the hundreds and thousands, you know, like someone not being able to just say yeah to that question is weird to me.
See, I would agree with that, and I think anyone who would put like the but is probably has some issues. But you know the
but
I'm saying but I'm continuing along. But
it's so perfect. Oh my god.
But the stories, the crazy, most of the stories now that you hear about these protests have some very weird slant to it, like that girl or the poop one where, you know, it was like the blind person who, and those are like, what is going on? Like, are you happy? I guess I feel like some of it's extreme, like when you're trying, like they want Harvard to change their crest and stuff. Like those are where it's like, what are you talking? That to me is not really Black Lives Matter. That's a PC matter, where I agree Black Lives Matter, but some of it I feel is like going so extreme you can't even move. That's where I feel on it.
I agree with you on some very select parts of that. I will say that, like, yeah, I don't know. Every group has assholes. A lot of the PC police have jumped into it and kind of like muck things up, but like it's a generational thing and it's a college thing. All college kids have like
agreed,
you know, causes
and right. And I hate all those causes generally equally when it's like serial protesters jumping in. Like you have these serial. There was one of them where the Black Lives Matter people, all the white kids tried to jump on it, and then the black kids were like, "Actually, can you not like hijack our cause for a minute here?"
I'll tell you this: of all the ballsy things you've done, Dave, bringing Mo on and asking a black guy to like align himself with your Black Lives Matter views I love it.
Listen, I think, and this is going to be even ballsier. I think my logic is solid, and if I was a black person, I'd vote for me. So how do you like that? I wouldn't vote for KFC. I'll tell you that right now.
His comparison to the Patriots is perfect because it's like when Pats fans say like, dude, we're not all like that. We're not like Portnoy. Yeah, there are some crazy people in every race, in every group, on every fan base, whatever it may be. It doesn't represent the good people of the whole. That's you for Pats fans.
Mo, what percentage of Complex is like, that's urban, right? Like, what's the makeup there? What's that? I can't say urban? That's the proper terminology. Mo, is that the right fucking term? Complex is an urban pub. Am I wrong?
No. You're right, and you're right more than you probably even know, because urban is totally like an advertising like code word for black.
Listen. You don't think I don't bump up in some meetings? It's like we're going after urban. We're going after fucking white yuppies. We fall into the white yuppies, and Complex is urban. So you two right now, the two white guys on this panel. No matter what I say, you're just howling and be like, "Poor Mo." I'm trying to make fucking points. I had a real question, and it's fucking Jimmy and John over there howling their asses off.
It's funny. You're funny right now. The way you're like doing this is funny. I can't laugh at that. I'm genuinely
I'm a funny fucking guy every fucking day. That's why all three of you have jobs, is because I'm fucking funny.
I take that back. I'm taking back my compliment. That was too far.
What is the makeup? What is the makeup?
Around when we used to be like, ask him random questions. I miss that. I distinctly remember the Stoolies asking why black people preheat their microwave, and that was still like the funniest thing I've ever read on the internet. Because like there's a bunch of white Stoolies thought black people turn on the microwave for 20 seconds to get it warm before putting their food in and getting it warm.
All right, I'll let it go. I am curious. What is your official title now? You're like the editor over there, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm deputy editor, which means I head up the sports channel. So I have like some editors below me.
Who was the guy we went to the Final Four with?
That's Angel. Shout out to Angel Diaz.
Shout out to Angel. He's Circle of Trust.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, that's a good story.
What's that?
That's a great story. I heard that from both perspectives, so it's good.
Did Hank? Did you tell that story? No, so he must not be in the Circle of Trust anymore. Angel is now out of the Circle of Trust. If Mo knows his story,
Mo is in the. You can tell people
in the Circle of Trust.
No, Mo can find out
between the groups.
Yeah. Mo can find out, but I don't think Angel can just like be like.
I can say this story. Do you remember this, Dave? And Angel will attest to this. We were in a van at like 3:30 in the morning.
I know you guys
up to some really shady shit. And it was me, Gaz, Hank, and Dave. And I turned to them and I'm like, yo, thank God that guy fucking Angel's gone. I don't trust that motherfucker for a second. He pops out, he's sitting in the front seat. He's like, yo, I'm right here, guys. And I'm just like, shit.
Dead true. That's how it happened.
No, trust that motherfucker. He's like, hey, man, right here.
That's the most big cat story ever, too. That's perfectly you. I love it.
Oh, it's so good. So funny.
And we didn't really even skip a beat. We just continued like, what's up, Angel? Like, we're on to the next spot. Paige Sporanic, this golfer, sexy. I think she's sort of overrated to be. What'd you give me that look for, Hank? I think she's kind of overrated, but she made a pro golfer debut. She did not earn her way into the tournament. It was an invite tournament. So a lot of people now, a lot of females are mad, like you're hot, you're cheating your way to success. My guess is most of us have the same slant on that. Big Cat, what do you got on Paige Sporanic?
It's like Anna Kournikova. Has Anna Kournikova ever won a tournament in the last like 10 years? I don't think so, but she still gets the most endorsements, right? Like sex sells. Hot chicks will get the pass here. I don't know why this isn't new. I don't know why they're complaining about it. This is not new, and if anything, it's probably helping their tour because it's getting people to actually watch it, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. KFC.
I don't think she's overrated. I think she's pretty hot.
I didn't say she's overrated.
No, I think she's slightly overrated. Her face.
Oh,
I would not put her in the category of like I think she's just a hot chick. Even if she wasn't a golfer, I think she would just still be like a hot Instagram girl. You don't think she would be like considered hot if she wasn't?
We wouldn't know who she is.
No, I agree with that. But I'm saying I think she's just like a sexy girl no matter what.
There's something about sexy girls swing golf clubs that like do something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it moves the needle a little bit more for sure. But I do think she's a hot chick. I think that what Dan said about the LPGA tour or whatever, they're getting more publicity, so they should be happy. And she shouldn't really care if she's kind of a scrub because she'll probably make more money off of Instagram endorsements and shit like that than ever playing golf anyway. So it's a win-win. I don't know why anyone cares.
Mo?
Yeah, same thing. I actually am jealous because I don't really cover this kind of stuff at my normal job now. So like I like getting back into it. But I was thinking too, like if she's not good enough to make it, I feel like there's a lot of her in the world. Like there has to be a lot of like these waspy, like hot chicks who grew up playing golf with dad. Like they should just start like a lingerie golf association or something. You know, like if you're gonna suck at golf and be gorgeous and like just sell yourself as like a hot girl who plays golf, then like go all the way. Why are you holding back trying to make
that would make so much more money than being an actual golfer.
Yeah,
LPGA would be out of business.
I still think she's relatively probably like very, very good, and I actually don't think there's a lot of those girls floating around that can do that. Maybe you started early. This always comes back for me the same thing. We live in like a capitalist society, so somebody thinks having her there is making them money. And that's really all there is to it. You can't complain. If the tournament organizers thought having a more talented but uglier golfer was there, that's what they would do. They're not doing it like as a Christmas card. They're doing it because they think that's the most profitable way for the tournament, and that's really all it's about. Hank, did you not put a commercial on this? No? Okay. When should we do it? Now? All right, commercial. We're back. This next hit, I watched this like 20 times. This female rugby hit. First of all, it's pretty self-explanatory. I don't really know what you can even comment. I will say, what I said in the blog, the girl who stuck her face in there, that's like the most courageous thing I've ever seen anybody do. And number two, the coach of the other team, looks like pickup, or you should be thrown in jail for putting that girl 5 yards back in the eye and just having her run straight at these like 90-pound soaking wet girls. I mean, someone could die doing that. Mo, what do you got on this hit?
I honestly didn't think it was a must-watch. I know you used the must-watch in all caps. I thought it was like.
Happy you said that, because if I said that, it would have been a thing. But
Mo, just to give you a little bit of a backstory here, we had a big fight like a month ago. Kevin used a must-watch, and Dave and I said it wasn't a must-watch.
Yeah, I didn't mean to bust any balls or anything. I just thought it wasn't that great of a hit compared to some of the hits we saw. But the one nugget I took from it was that the girl who got truck sticked was wearing a helmet. And like that to me, like she kind of got what she deserved for being the only girl with a helmet. Like I feel like she watched those concussion previews and like heard Will Smith's African voice and got all like souped up for protecting herself, and it got her fucking laid out. It's her fault.
That video is probably like already front page on Complex as we speak, as most like it's not a must watch, as it's like going viral with Complex's logo.
I already hit my guys up, yeah.
KFC. I know you're now going to talk about the must watch thing.
Nope, I don't know what you're talking about. That was Mo's take. I have no idea what you're talking about. This almost is to go back to like female sports stuff. No matter how good of a female rugby player you are, you can't handle a chick of that size. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like Ronda Rousey. Like there's not enough of a pool of competition yet to be able to have a 400-pound chick just trucking through your line on rugby. So it's not fair. It's almost like they need to like change the rules. Like Shaquille O'Neal or Will Chamberlain, you got to adjust the rules of female rugby for this behemoth, because I don't understand how anybody could ever stop her. I feel like that would work every single time.
Big Cat?
Fat people moving like that in athletic events, I actually will back you up here, Dave, are almost always must watch.
Yep, thank you.
It's like when Refrigerator Perry was in the backfield. It's like when you get a fat guy gets an interception and is running it back. When Tractor Trailer used to dunk on people. Something about fat people moving like this, like you can't take your eyes away.
Thank you. That was a big win for me. I appreciate that.
I mean, it hurt me to do it, but it's like, it is the truth that whenever I see a fat guy moving, like, you don't watch every time a fat guy gets an interception and takes it back. That's like the highlight of the week.
And I had a guttural reaction, guttural. When I watched that, like I made a noise. When I didn't know what I was about to watch, I watched it. I was like, ooh. That generally signifies much watch to me, my own natural brain reaction. This next article. So, Mo, we talked about this and I wrote it in the blog. Basically, the other day, the Redskins fan stabbed the Jason Witten fan at the Redskins game, and I said I thought Witten was a surprising jersey for a fan to be wearing, because Witten, look at KFC, that face. It's like he's just waiting for me to step in some racist shit with Mo on there. That's what that face is, KFC, with the raised eyebrow.
Can I tell you what this face is? I still can't wrap my mind around this. We're talking about the type of person who would be wearing a white player's jersey who ends up getting stabbed?
Yes.
Okay.
What's that scene?
That was hard to piece together for me.
What's the famous scene in the movie when the like really hot it wasn't J-Lo, when the hot chick is going through like all the lasers?
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Who was it? Yeah, Catherine Zeta-Jones. That's Dave right now with like, and the lasers are racism, and he's like bending and like going up and down and all around.
No,
you're doing a good job before you get it.
You can tell like somebody's. Are we frozen?
But you see the lasers. We see the lasers.
Everybody sees the laser. You can legitimately, I feel like, get a view into somebody's psyche by what type of jersey they're wearing. So I put my top 10 white guy jerseys that you'd expect to get stabbed. I think my number 1 was Incognito. I don't know how we didn't think of that. That's the biggest no-brainer in the history of Earth. I thought my number 2 was Next Level, Sebastian Janikowski. I researched him. He hasn't actually been in trouble since like 2003, but he's been in the league for so long. And I am going to – did you, Dan, know that I wrote I'm going to do the Hall of Fame guys tomorrow? Because then you just hijacked my tomorrow article and everyone's throwing out the names. It's giving me a couple more. What did you guys think of the list? We'll start with you, Dan.
I like the list. Incognito's a great ad. I disagree with the J.J. Watt thing. I think people who like J.J. Watt now are such like suck-up tryhards that they would never get in a fight. The Cushing one is correct. And I think that's you can't have like two guys from the same team. Like if you're a hardo who's going to get in knife fights and you're a Texans fan, you're getting a Cushing jersey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But what you said for J.J. Watt was kind of what I wrote. Like, it's somebody who kind of thinks they're tough and may get on the outskirts, and they don't know, like, that they've pissed somebody off and then they get stabbed. I spent actually a decent amount of time. What? Was there anybody you thought I missed? This fucking thing, Hank.
Was this current?
Current. Had to be in the league.
I was going to say the number 1 all time is... You good, Hank? Okay. The number 1 all time is Jeremy Shockey. No doubt about that.
No, it isn't.
If you wear a Jeremy Shockey jersey, you're probably getting stabbed, doing the stabbing, all sorts of shit like that. But if it's current, I can get down with that. But omitting him he's got to at least be like an honorable mention.
This was current, but number 1 all time is Romanowski. Mo?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Number 1 all time is Romanowski, like no question.
And
I
that's
think all
by the
time
way.
too. Mike Mamula for Philly fans is pretty much in there. I think you can't go too easy. Like Incognito is a great pick, but like he's obviously like said racist things. Like Riley Cooper has said racist things. Racists don't like being like outed as a racist. Like it's like an old hockey trick of racist people to be like, I'm not racist. So like to put a jersey on, making it obvious is too much. I also want to add in, I guess it still counts as current, but sneaky Mike Vick Falcons jersey. There are a lot of like white trashy dudes who listen to like bad white rappers and are nodding out on heroin and stealing shit. A white guy who's wearing in 2015 or 2016 fucking Mike Vick Falcons jersey may stab you immediately.
I wouldn't doubt that at all. I mean, that's not in the spirit of the competition. Yeah, it has to be like a white player, but it's a fair point. But if we open that door, there's quite a few. I mean, the number 1 all time is Birdman, the basketball guy. Like that guy, you're totally stabbing people. Last one. Oh, well, no, the last one is catching up with Mo. So we've kind of caught up with Mo. How long have you been there now, Mo?
Year and a half, year and 8 months, something like that.
I was going into an office every day.
I dig it. I haven't got tired of it yet. There's like I work in Midtown, and there's like a weird catacombs where like you can avoid the outside from the subway, so that's nice. I don't get cold in the wintertime going to work, but working at home, and I think I said this on KSC Radio before, working at home for 3 years, and you guys, like, I guess probably even longer now, drives you nuts. And so it was good, like, to get out of the house, and it still feels good to do that.
Yeah, it's our guys are turning into like some sort of weird, like human wolf type mix.
What?
I would say that's what working at home. Like you guys are slowly like changing.
Oh, well, I'm getting fatter. Is that what you're saying? Was that just a nice way of saying that I'm getting fatter?
No, I just feel like it changes your basic like structure. Like Mo say, when you don't see anybody and you just sit at home every single day.
It's winter. Winter at home is
is there anything you miss, Mo?
Because like
what
was that?
Is there anything you miss? Anything better here than it was at Complex?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm thinking about clicks a lot. I'm looking at live stats a lot more than I did before, and I can't talk about everything. Like, there's a lot of like just dumbass, fucked up jokes I want to write that I think are funny that I can't do. I can't write the stories. Like when I see a guy's face, like, does this look like the face of? Like, yeah, I see those a lot just scrolling through the timeline, and I'd love to write a blog about them, but like, it's not my beat, you know.
Yeah.
So that there's a lot less freedom. Like that's the one thing I'll say about Barstool is like the freedom to be able to write whatever the hell you want, and like if it's good or funny, have it be accepted is pretty unique.
We can't have Mo on and not talk about the process. What do you think of the process?
I don't know if you guys saw. I wrote fucking 3,100 words about the process and dropped it yesterday.
That's too much.
Dude, there's like 31 total words on the process. It's not really working. You lose a lot of games. Philly fans, it sucks for them.
More than that, Mo, you just like summed up your new life. Like 3,100 words. That's too many words.
It's way too many words. Yeah. And like my job as the editor, I'm supposed to cut that down, but I was like, I'm the guy, so I was like, fuck it, I'm posting all of this. I feel all of this is right, and it went up. No, I obviously am a process supporter. I think how Sam Hinkie has been demonized is fucking ridiculous. I'm worried that Jerry Colangelo is going to start picking up mid-level free agents or trading for like Lance Stevenson and bringing the Sixers back to the A seed and us never getting like really good. That's my biggest fear.
What about Jaleel?
Jaleel Okafor is a good guy, I think.
He's not though. I mean, he's definitely not right.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he was. He's not.
Do you have some inside info because he's not a good guy at the moment.
He's a bad guy because he got into a street fight and drove fast. Like, you know, he's.
I mean, he had a gun like pulled on his head and then got in a fight like 2 days later and jumped a guy. Like that's not good.
It's not good, but it doesn't make you a bad person. I want to trade him anyway. Like I'm more of an Embiid guy. I'm still team Embiid to the death. I think Embiid's next year.
Yeah, they're more. They get brainwashed, man. It's crazy.
Rose guy, that's
it's great. Like
come on.
Nowhere else I'd rather be than in this fucking weird brainwash state right now because my team has one win a quarter through the season.
If you could go back and have Porzingis over Okafor, would you do it?
Oh, God, this is gonna make me so fucking unpopular. I'm gonna get tweeted about it, but yeah.
Yeah, because you know you're a basketball guy. You have a good brain. You know what you're talking about.
But no one would have ever made that pick, and like you get demonized for making a pick over Okafor. The Knicks, if Okafor was there, would have taken Okafor.
1,000%. It's all completely luck, but you know sometimes better be lucky than good.
Yeah, but Porzingis is awesome. Yeah, it's great.
Mo, does anyone ever talk shit about Barstool at Complex?
No, like they it's weird. They live in like completely different universes. Where like I could come on this show and like whip my dick out right now, and I probably wouldn't hear about it at work from like more than one person.
Prove it.
Let's see.
Yeah, I would agree. We don't Complex. I mean, to be honest, Complex. I didn't know much about them until Angel, and then when Mo went there. But we don't. Our worlds don't. It's the urban market versus the white market. A little bit.
Who runs the Twitter there?
Which one? Like the Complex Sports one or the main Twitter?
The main one.
Like 3 people. And
they get in like Twitter fights all the time. It's so weird. And they steal stuff from me. You said that one time.
Yeah, you let me know. If that happens, I'll out them. But like
what, so Mo, like who, like we know who I hate a lot of people like on the internet most. Like who does Complex, if you had to say these are the guys like we keep our eye on, who is that?
Like Vice, like even like the crappier sites like Elite Daily, like a lot of the clickbaity sites will like steal our ideas and just do them in like a shittier way, and we see that pop up. So that's like they tend to make enemies with us. But like I think it's weird. Like you guys, to a certain extent, like we all publish the same type of stuff besides like the really outlandish shit that Barstool's allowed to do. It's just like who's going to get what audience. So it's kind of segmented, but like we're all reaching for like the same content.
I would also imagine, Dave, that not everybody is as like vindictive and like drumming up vendettas as we are.
Well, I don't drum up anything. I mean,
right.
I just don't walk away.
I'm mistaken.
Positive thoughts. Positive thoughts, Kevin. He's fair. Dave is fair. He holds grudges in a fair way.
I do, yeah. You know what, Dan? That may be the truest thing ever said about me. Like, I hold grudges and my grudges aren't out of left field. They're not made up. But when I grudge pretty fucking hard. That's true.
Everybody has. Everyone on the internet has their enemies and shit. So everyone's got their people they're gunning for.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Mo.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks for having me, guys. Anytime. Really.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Later, guys.